Hello, welcome to HoboRec. Today we're going to do something a little bit unusual for me. We're going to have a look at an amp sim. Hi, I'm Ulf at HoboRec Recording Studios and YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, feel free to check out my previous videos and consider subscribing. Yeah, so today we're gonna have a look at an amp sim, which is kind of unusual for me. I almost never worked with amp sims in any serious way, and I haven't been very interested, to be honest. But I saw all these reviews and demos popping up about the Fortin Nameless plugin, and I got a little intrigued, to say the least. So I'm going to try it out today and show you a little bit. And I have a track that I think is suitable for this kind of amp. I'm working on a little video series that will come up later this year about ways to get inspiration when you feel you're in a rut. One of those ways is trying to copy, or not copy, but take inspiration from an existing production. I dissected and took a look at the Lamb of God, Redneck, and how that was recorded, because it's recorded in a way that I would never think of recording something. So I thought it was kind of interesting to try that out to broaden my views. Don't pay too much attention to the mix here today. This is just to demo the Fortin plugin amp. So let's have a look. First thing that hits me when opening it up, it's that the layout, it's really simple and convenient. Not too much unnecessary stuff that will get in the way of choosing a guitar tone. The amp pad itself is really familiar, and as you see, you have different inputs for high and low depending on the output of your guitar. We have two different preamp gains. After that we have the regular EQ, treble, middle and bass. We have presence, and last but not least we have the amp volume, which also has a pull-push button if you want to attenuate the output and let the simulated tubes work a bit harder. At least that's what I think is the purpose of it. So before going any further, let's just play around a little. This whole thing also comes with a really potential cab simulator. Since I'm now running it in stereo, I pan the left speaker to the left and the right speaker to the right. If you run the plugin in mono, you're able to have a combination of two different microphones. You could also run a mono signal into it and split it up to a stereo output where you pan one microphone to the left and one to the right, and get sort of a wider stereo effect out of a mono guitar. Another great feature here is that you're able to adjust the amp settings at the same time as you're adjusting the microphones. And that can definitely make things a bit easier, even though it's more convenient to have a close-up of the amp head when working with the settings. Another special feature of this plugin is the grind pedal in front of the amp head, and To be honest, maybe I'm not that well versed in the GNT and modern metal stuff, but I don't really get the thing that it's doing. It's not something that I think that I would ever look for. But you never know, maybe I will someday work with a band that needs this specific sound if they work with the 8 or 9 strings guitars and stuff like that that I don't usually work with. But it can surely come in handy. So after playing around a bit more with the cab simulator and the mic modeler and stuff like that, I feel really intuitive and fun to work with. But at the same time, I also feel that the differences it makes with positioning the microphones and also between the different microphone models, differences are not by far as dramatic as it is in real life. Changing a microphone and changing the position of the microphones makes really big differences, and in this case often feel the differences are pretty subtle compared to real life, but on the other hand also everything sounds good. Here it's more a matter of taste than actually be able to do something terribly wrong. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know what you think, but I'm pretty impressed to say the least. I will still keep working with real amps, I think, because there's a certain randomness to working with real stuff when you have your specific amp, your specific cab, your specific microphones. It's something that's really hard to recreate. You make a sound in the moment and that's it. Working with plugins, it's easy to get stuck in presets and stuff like that, I'm afraid. I mean, you could easily make something original with an amp sim too, but for me, it's a bit more romantic or something to work with real amps. So I will keep do that. But now when the technology is getting this good, there's a good opportunity to blend in and to get new tones. There are certain possibilities that occur with this kind of technique that could be hard to do with real amps. And so I will probably use it in some ways at some time, depending on what kind of music I record or what kind of band it is. But it's good to have it in my toolbox. So let me know what you think. Leave comments. And if you would be interested in working with me in some way, feel free to check out my homepage at HoboRec.com. You can find some of my previous work there and also contact me via the contact form. And yeah, see you again next week. Bye-bye. Cheers!